Hey viewers, George here, and today I was thinking we could look at a system instead of a game like we normally do, but the question is, which system should we look at? The Atari Jaguar? No. Neo Geo Pocket? Nah. I don't know. Oh, I know! How about the Sega 32X? Huh? Good idea, right? Right? Just roll the opening. With the Sega Genesis selling amazingly well, partly thanks to its famous Sega does what Nintendo don't ads,
What's free? What Nintendo don't.
Sega wanted to keep the ball rolling with a new system, the Sega Saturn, which of course wouldn't be released for a few years, so they made something to hold gamers over until then and also to compete with the Atari Jaguar. You know, when your reason for making anything is to compete with the Atari Jaguar, you've already spelt doom for yourself. And thus, in 1994, the world got their hands on the Sega 32X, an add-on system for the Sega Genesis. And of course, in the good old 90s Sega glory, we got some bizarre ads for the Sega 32X.
Just stick it in your Genesis.
That sounds like a bad idea. Plus, I don't think it would fit.
6 times more powerful than 3DO.
I thought you guys were trying to compete with the Atari Jaguar, not the 3DO. Or do you guys get those two mixed up all the time? Because, let me tell you this, they're two completely different systems. Oh dear Jesus, it's the new X movement! The kids are revolting! Skateboards are so cool, so the 32X must be cool as well. Radical!
The graphics are really cool. The game really moved.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The game really moved.
The games really move? What the hell were you playing that made your game cartridges sentient? Because I'll tell you this much, that's not normal. Kid, you might actually have some sort of demon-possessed cartridges on your hands.
Are you 32Xing yet?
That sounds wrong, like really disturbingly wrong. And it wasn't just the commercials for the 32X that were questionable. Check out these print ads. Oh yes, more, faster, faster, faster! Mommy, what are those two Sega machines doing? They're making an arcade system, dear. Oh, and leave it to the French to throw subtlety out the window with this one. This one right here is mathematically wrong. 1 plus 2 equals 32x. Clearly we need to figure out the variable for x's.
For mega pleasure, slap this in your slot.
Ew, no thanks.
Are you 32Xing yet?
Okay, stop it! Christ, I feel dirty just holding this thing. Enough with the ads. Let's just put this into the Genesis. No. Let's just stick it into the No, that still sounds bad. How about we just pop this in? Oh, ew. Okay, how about we just play with my 32X? Wait, that sounds worse. So let's get this set up here. Unlike these sexually implicated lines from the ads.
Just stick it in your Genesis.
Yes, those ones. You just don't plop it into your Genesis. No, you gotta mess with the audio and video cables at the back. Like switching the ones from the Genesis to the 32X and then putting a connector from the 32X into the Genesis. Also, you gotta plug the 32X into its own separate power source because, you know, it can't share the same power as the Genesis. The 32X is a special brand of jackassery. Jeez, talk about false advertising. Well, now let's take a look at some of the games for this fantastic system. Over the course of the Sega 32X's lifespan, only 40 games were made for it, 6 of which you needed both the 32X and the Sega CD to play. I should also note that the Sega 32X, since it uses the Genesis as its crutch, uses the Genesis controller, both the 3-button and the 6-button, though most of the games seem to benefit with a 6-button controller. Now, I'm not going to play all 40 games, because I mean that'd be very time consuming. This video will go on for a very long time, no doubt. But sometime down the line, we'll tackle them maybe in another review. But for now, let's get started with the crowning jewel of the system, Virtual Fighter. Oh, come on! Work, goddammit! Finally. Alright, Virtual Fighter for the 32X. So, wow, this game is, floaty as fuck. A little. Look, Mommy! I'm on the moon! So Virtual Fighter on the 32X does come with all the characters you expect to see in a Virtual Fighter game. I mean, how can you possibly screw that up, of course? But, just for the sake of, you know, choice, we'll go with Akira, because, I mean, someone's got to keep this guy in check. He could destroy Tokyo at any moment. Okay, that's not creepy at all. Like I said before, everything just kind of feels really off, whether it's punching, kicking, or jumping, of course, where it just has this very floaty delay to it. It's kind of hard to describe without actually experiencing it, but that's the best way I can put it. It just feels really floaty, everything you do. But beyond that, though, this is really just a standard fighting game. You pick a fighter, you face off against another fighter, you win, you go on to the next one, rinse, wash, repeat. Okay, Akira, calm down. We don't want any Tokyos being destroyed today. Next we have Motocross Championship. And if my past record of playing and reviewing motocross games can tell us anything, it's that this is gonna probably suck. A lot. So, it's a racing game with some rather interestingly annoying audio choices. Nothing fancy about it. Except, of course, you can punch other drivers with the C button on the right-hand side, and only on the right-hand side. So you might be thinking to yourself, maybe the A button will let you punch on the left side, George. That would make sense. No, if you want to attack on the left side, you have to press the left button. So anytime you want to smack someone who's on your left side, you gotta move left too. That's a freaking dumb idea, especially considering the A button does absolutely nothing in this game. Christ, next. Alright, Space Harrier. This is one of my favorite games from the Master System and the Genesis.
Welcome to the Fantasy Zone.
Oh, well, thank you.
Get ready.
Oh my god, this is so cool. This is freaking awesome. So far, this is the best 32X game I've played. My only gripe with this port is that it feels a little bit choppy, but that may be because I'm used to playing the 3DS port of this game. Also, some of the sound effects are a little bit annoying. Which is weird because I've never had that problem with any other version of this game, but still, this is a blast to play. Hey, let's keep this good trend going with another classic, Doom. Well, it's certainly Doom. That's for sure. Man, does this move slow. And the music, what happened to its awesomeness? Christ, the original DOS game moves faster and sounds better. A floppy disk. This is supposed to be on a 32X cartridge, for Christ's sakes. At least it looks better than the Super Nintendo port. But beyond that, it's still Doom. It's still a lot of fun to play, but there are better versions out there. Next up, Mortal Kombat 2. How could they possibly fuck this up? Punch. Punch? Come on, do something! I'm seriously trying to play here, but half my button presses aren't responding. Well, at least it looks really good and it sounds decent, but the fact that there's no loading times is a shocking surprise that I happily welcome with open arms. Like, seriously, loading times, get the fuck out of here. Oh, but I can't pause. Well, I guess this game sucks then. Okay, how about we try Star Wars Arcade? Please don't be bad. You know, I'm well aware sound doesn't really travel in space, but I would like to hear something! Once you finally do get to hear some kind of music, it sounds like crap. The audio quality is really, really poor. It's almost like you're listening to a cell phone recording of an orchestra in some cases. And I really wish I could actually show you guys what it sounds like, but due to copyright laws, that kind of makes it easier said than done. Also, I think the text scroll is alive. It's kind of moving a little bit more than it should. Oh wow, we get to pick between the arcade version or the 32X version? Super 32X Enhanced Star Wars! Well, now I have to try the 32X version. You wanna know what? Honestly, this game's a lot of fun. I really don't see a difference between the two versions it offers in this cartridge, but regardless, I love it. Okay, last one, Cosmic Carnage. Light years away, in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, sorry, I'm still on the high from that last game. Whew, that was a lot of fun. In an uncharted star system, an incident of epic proportions has occurred. Oh no, Square Enix has announced they're going to do a Final Fantasy 13-4! We're all doomed! The banished crew of an intergalactical prison bars en route to the celestial mine has overpowered their captors. That's a very lengthy way to say a prison break happened. Christ, my god, it's still going on about this prison break. Get to the point! Here, allow me to sum this up for you. The prison ship was damaged during the prison break, so the escapees sent out a distress signal to lure a ship to hijack. One comes along, but someone fucked up because they ended up damaging the other ship as well. Jeez, talk about being reckless. Thankfully, one of the escape pods survived, so the last 8 survivors must fight over the last hope they have to survive. Honestly, when I read through this novel of an opening text scroll, I thought this was going to be some sort of deathmatch shooter or something along those lines. But nope, it's a fighting game, and a very below average one at that. You have these 8 fighters that look okay, nothing about them really seems that interesting though. As far as the actual game goes, it's below average, like I said. This ends up being a very generic fighting game, sadly. But Cosmic Carnage ends up being one of the very few original 32X titles in its library, so it has that going for it. Overall, the Sega 32X is a bit of a letdown. Sort of. Okay, sure, I didn't try all 40 games that were made for the add-on system, but from the 7 that I did play, I can safely say that the 32X doesn't bring much to the table. The system only lasted 4 years and was designed to hold gamers over until the Sega Saturn came out. The fact that the 32X was so well received when it came out kinda surprises me. Plus, a lot of the games in its libraries have a much better version on other systems, save for a few original titles it had. But nevertheless, the Sega 32X is pointlessly harmless, and it did what it was meant to do, which was hold us over until the next best thing came out. You know, honestly, I kinda went into this review thinking I would hate the 32X and rip it a new one, but in the end, I kinda don't mind the sexually advertised add-on of a system. You're not half bad, 32X.
You weren't half bad yourself there, big boy.
Until next time, keep on gaming.
Heyo, and thanks for watching the review. If you like it, give it a like. If you really like it, hit that subscribe button at the top there. It's cool looking, isn't it? So alluring, so enchanting that you just have to click it! If you want to watch more reviews from yours truly, you can check out my last review, which was on the 3D Adventures of Sailor Moon, a PC game that we got over here in the West, and oh boy, it's a doozy. You can also watch my review on Time Lord for the NES, which is a rare game that you would think has something to do with Doctor Who. And you may be right. Now just, you know, wait here until you click something. You can click anything, really. You got the subscribe button, you got 2 videos. Both of them are very, appealing, I know. So how's the wife and kids?